the Honorable Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Thank you all.
Ketanji Brown Jackson just became the first black woman appointed to the Supreme Court Justice. Yay! She's also the first black woman ever nominated to the Supreme Court Justice. This is both amazing and sad, Johnson. It's amazing because, wow, it finally happened. And it's sad because it finally happened? Did you see the questions the Republicans asked during the hearings? The Republican questions were loaded with more bigoted dog whistles than the Tucker Carlson black culture rant. That's a lot. I can tell what kind of news you consume just by the comments you make about Ketanji Brown Jackson's appointment. If you hop on the idea that Judge Brown didn't want to be locked into a definition for what a woman means, that means you watch Fox News. Or if you lost your mind because she factored into a decision about sentencing based on how easy it is to click a mouse, download a zip file, compared to how hard it is to drive across town, pull up into a dark alley, and load in boxes and boxes of illegal images into your trunk and drive away. Like, one's easier than the other. On that same token, if you only focused on her time as a public defender where she represented the most disenfranchised, but didn't factor in the time when she denied a lawsuit by a bunch of black workers at a Lockheed Martin plant who were suing for discrimination, lack of salary increases, and job promotions. Or if you forgot the time when she sided with Lyft Corporation over Lyft drivers who were pleading for benefits. Or if you overlooked the time she denied the environmental groups the opportunity to block the largest North American oil pipeline from going to Illinois to Oklahoma. For environmental concerns, of course. Here's a list of the networks you probably watch. It's a lot of them, Johnson. But at the end of the day, the senators on both sides of the aisle use this as an opportunity to further their political ideologies. You know, cozy up to the base. Some are angry that Judge Jackson isn't more radical. They long for a champion on the court who would go on and be a trailblazer for civil rights, a harbinger for social justice, and push the envelope on reparations. Tain't gonna happen. You don't make it on the long list of options, let alone the short list, let alone be nominated, let alone be appointed, confirmed and appointed by being the female version of Fred Hampton on the bench. There are some who are overjoyed to see this day happen. A black woman confirmed to the Supreme Court. It's a big thing. Though, I wonder if she will actually be more independent from her more moderate colleagues when it comes to issues. If I'm being honest, I'm bracing myself for her to be more liberal than progressive or forward-thinking or bold. I'm not so sure she'll be willing to stick her neck out but so far. It's really not a stretch of the imagination to imagine she'd become way too comfortable with incremental changes rather than bold steps towards a brighter future for all of us. The worst case scenario is if she uses her identity to push for more conservative type standings. Meanwhile, we'll have a bunch of white people saying, well, she's black and she's a woman. She must know best. Or my favorite that we heard under Obama. She's the first. So what do you expect her to do? They would crucify her if she stepped out for us. Which I always responded with, what good is he then? If that's the case, we might as well take it to zero, Johnson. I saw several people airing their grievances. What good is a black female justice if she's not going to ride for us? Well, there's a couple of things. It wasn't like I saw a lot of people with this sentiment. It seems like they thought they were a lot, you know, because they'd be in their own little bubble, little echo chamber. It's really like only about 20 of them. Contrary to popular opinion, most black people are not radical. Nope, they're just trying to make ends meet, trying to put gas in the car, want to see if Will Smith's going to apologize from the heart. Is he going to lose his Oscar? And Will Parler Patton wash that chicken and put some salt and pepper on that thing. I winced while reading some of the more progressive comments about Judge Jackson's blackness. And from comments about how her husband's white to comments about she ain't really that black. I was less concerned with that and more concerned with the fact that she's related to Paul Ryan through marriage. Turns out the judge's husband, Patrick G. Jackson, is the twin brother of Ryan's brother-in-law, William Jackson. And William Jackson's wife, Dana, is the sister of Ryan's wife, Jana, which means they're nothing. As I think back, I don't remember my exact feelings about Obama. I can't remember if I thought of him as just black or if I thought about him as a black male. But I gotta admit that I guess there could be a difference with the way black women felt about the whole thing. And if Barack Obama would have been a black woman, would that have made it a lot harder for Barack Obama to be elected? And to that, I would say yes, it would have. Many of us were wondering if we were ready to elect a black man. But the prospect of electing a black woman to the highest office in the land, that would be the stuff made of fantasy, like a science fiction, in retrospect. Not now. We have a black woman as vice president, and now a black woman as Supreme Court justice. Get where I'm going with this? As much as I see the criticism that some are directing to those overjoyed about Judge Jackson's appointment, I gotta wonder, can't you motherfuckers read the room? You're right. A person's race or identity should have nothing to do with them being qualified for a position. But if we were really playing by those rules, it wouldn't have taken us 17 chief justices, 103 associate justices, just to get to our first black female associate justice. Will Judge Jackson be the next Thurgood Marshall? I doubt it. But I also doubt she'll be as bad as Roger Taney, the Chief Justice who wrote the Dred Scott decision, who famously quipped that no black person have any rights that a white man would have to respect. We should allow folks to feel good about the appointment of Ketanji Brown Jackson. There are black women all across the country who feel a sense of pride at her appointment. It's sad that we're at a point where Judge Jackson's identity matters, but it's also sad that we're at a point where people don't realize that her identity matters. This is a momentous occasion. It just is. Should we be past this point? Yes, we should. Are we past this point? No, we aren't. And that's the point. The fact is, we're even lucky to be at this point. If you consider the fact that in 2022, we just passed the Crown Act that allows black women to wear their hair naturally the way it comes out of their head and not be discriminated at their place of employment. We just passed that. Just now, like a week ago. That's how bad it is, okay? Wake the hell up, Tulsi Gabbard, people. It's not wokeism, it's racism. To all the progressives out there, you're right. There's still so much for us all to do. But I don't think we can move forward if you insult the hell out of anybody who's feeling good about this moment. Yeah, it's kind of hard to lead the charge forward if you're not even invited to the cookout because you insulted the hell out of everybody who went to the cookout, which is kind of what you're doing. I'm not saying you're wrong about there being a lot more work to do and that we shouldn't get too overjoyed about this. But there's such a thing as too much of the right thing. Even too much kombucha will make you sick. I've never drank that shit. Looks horrible. Heard it's good for you though. My joy is tempered with my usual concerns if Judge Jackson will be a justice that actually pushes the needle forward for us. But the truth is, on paper, she's more qualified than most of the justices that came before her. Judge Jackson should not have needed to be so much more qualified to be able to be appointed to the bench next to other men who were less qualified. What I'm saying is, she should have been allowed to be just as mediocre as most white men and still get the job. Now that's equality. So those people out here saying this means nothing, you're wrong. It means something. It's just one more small step. And as frustrating as it is, it's one we got to take, Johnson. But see, that's America. Welcome to the bench. And welcome to America. How you like that? I liked it. Hope you did too. Now click on the link over here and watch another video. Sure, I got something else that's just as interesting. It's getting cold, Johnson. It's pretty good though.